Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the legendary Verified Investing YouTube channel where people come to chase dreams and unprofitable trades come to die. This is the Golden Nugget, and I am Drew Wolfer. We will be doing this type of technical analysis and fundamental analysis on gold every single Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern Time. We'll have a few segments in here, and it will be a different type of show every single week, but we will be doing the same type of structure and the same analysis and fundamental analysis every single week. The only difference is that every week is going to have different news, different reports coming out, and different things happening in the gold markets. So the first thing that we want to do is get into our metals market. So let's do what we are going to call the bullion breakdown. And the first thing we're going to do is get straight into the gold chart. We're going to spend anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes. We're going to slam through the gold analysis, and then we will get into the silver analysis. All right, so first and foremost, gold is starting to trend a little bit down, all right? Now, here is the good news. It is in a short-term uptrend, though, and this is a trade that we called out inside of the Verified Investing community where we took a long position all the way down here at what we would call a pivot point, okay? So what I want to see in gold is it continue to move up and take out these previous swing highs right here. Now, these swing highs, and this is a level that you really need to keep on your radar. It is the $3,350-ish level, okay? Why exactly do we need to keep this on our radar? Well, I'm going to show you here in just a second. So if you take a Fibonacci retracement from the ultimate high, which is the all-time high right around $3,500, right? We just set this a little while ago. And you take it to the ultimate swing low that has come after this all-time high. You will see that the 0.618 Fibonacci retrace is all the way up here at just over $3,355. What is that also over? Well, there was a previous swing point right here. That was a previous all-time high before this all-time high was set, and that is a swing high right here whenever we started to make our legs down. You see a swing high, a swing low, a swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low, and another swing high, right? So we are now above the $3,300 level, which is a really key level for us to get above, in my opinion, and this further strengthens our trade to come up here to the 0.618 Fibonacci and this previous swing high level right here. Now, we have started to break market structure from a micro perspective back to the upside. And what do I mean by that? Well, we topped out up here. We came down, we set a new technical swing low. We set a lower swing high. Now we've set a lower swing low. So ultimately, for gold, in my opinion, to become bullish again, we really need to take out the $3,440 range. Technically, it's around $3,438, $39. But we really need to get up here and take this out so that we can break market structure from a macro perspective back to the upside, okay? And so this could be the movement that gets us up there. Now, we want to stay above this trend line as well. And if you extend this trend line out, you'll see what I'm talking about. This is the trend line that is kind of giving us that upward trajectory, okay? Now, we don't want to come up and double top here. That's why I'm saying we need to really take out this swing point, and we don't want to see a swing failure pattern up here at this level, because if we do, it could be a nice little retracement for gold, and if you lose this level right here, this is going to be a problem, okay? Now, there are a couple of pivot points that we needed to take into account, and one of those pivot points was actually where we entered this long trade, and that pivot point was right here, right at the swing low after the previous swing high. So you see your previous swing high, which was an all-time high, and then you pulled back just a little bit, right? Then you hit a new all-time high. You caught support there, you fell through, right? And then we regained it and then used it as support to then take our long position to the upside. So this is what I'm seeing in the gold markets right now. So long as we start moving our way up here to about the $3,355 level, the $3,300 level was key, okay? We had to get above that level to continue trending upwards, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But in my opinion, 3,350 to 3,360 is a key level that we really need to get through on our way to cracking this previous swing high right here so that we can continue moving upwards. Now, I want to do what we are going to call the silver snapshot. All right, so let's get into the silver charts and see what is going on in silver as it sits right now. So silver moves a little bit different than gold. And as you can see, silver is in an uptrend, all right? And this is good news for anybody that's long silver. I personally own silver and gold physically, so this is good news for anybody that owns that, right? So you have some swing points, some pivot points, and some supports, right? But the main key differentiating factor between silver and gold is silver is a namely industrial metal, okay? So this is going to have supply and demand shocks a lot of times. One thing that I'm seeing is this upward sloping trend channel, and it's being pretty well respected. You can see a hit, a hit, a hit, a hit, all the way up here at the top end of the trend channel. You've got one kiss right here, you've got a couple of hits here, and then bang, you've got another hit right here. You bounced, and now we're hoping to come up here and set new near-term highs. Now, technically, even if we come up here, are we setting a new all-time high? No, because a very long time ago, a couple of guys tried to buy up the gold or the silver markets and shot it up to ridiculous numbers. I think it was around $45, $50 an ounce, and that is technically the all-time high because they were trying to corner the silver market and have a monopoly on it. But for all intents and purposes, this is essentially an all-time high for us on silver, so we would like to take that out and start moving towards that $38 to $39 range. Now, what could potentially get us there, okay? First and foremost, we do have a bull flag on the daily chart, and this bull flag could get us, if you measure the full move all the way up to about that $38.50 range, which is the upper end of this trend channel. That's where we would start thinking about taking profits and potentially entering short positions, okay? Now, if we fall below some certain levels, that is where we are going to be bearish on silver, okay? So first and foremost, if we get below the 200 moving average, which is right here at about $31.40 on silver, that is going to be bearish. You're going to be looking for a move down to potentially the $30 range to the bottom end of the trend channel. Now, can you look for a bounce there? Absolutely, you can look for a bounce there, but if you lose this trend channel, you're going to start coming down here more into the $28 to $26 range, okay? So that is essentially what is going on inside of the bullion markets as it sits right now. Now, I want to, from a technical perspective at least, now, what we want to also do is talk about what is going on inside of the bullion markets from a actual fundamental perspective. Okay, so I've got some notes on this. That way we can kind of get through this in the timing that it will take to get through it. And I want to make sure that I'm cognizant of people's time. So what do we have going on in the actual gold markets right now? Well, it's multifaceted. So the very first one, gold is now reacting to the U.S. credit being downgraded, okay? And this is going to bring in a lot of global uncertainty. The global, we'll call it economy, hinges a lot upon the United States and the United States dollar. So not only our credit system, but our dollar, okay? And if you look and you watch what happens with the United States dollar, a lot of times you're going to see, if you put a gold chart and a DXY chart, which is the dollar index, right next to each other, you will see an inverse correlation, okay? So when gold is going up, the DXY is going down, and vice versa, okay? So whenever we see these types of things happen, where we're seeing all of these, you know, credit downgrading and things of that sort, we went from a AAA credit down or credit rating down to a AA1 credit, okay? So this is for all intents and purposes, this is horrible news for the United States, and this is something that we don't want to see from an economic and a fundamental perspective in our economy, okay? And what that's going to do is it's going to put a lot of pressure on the US dollar, and it's going to put a lot of buying pressure on safe haven assets like cryptocurrency, technically just Bitcoin, okay? Now, I'm not saying altcoins, but you've also got your real safe haven assets that have been stood the test of time, gold, silver, things of that sort, right? So this is not necessarily the best scenario with Moody's downgrading the U.S. credit rating. And then we also have Trump reigniting the threats of tariffs and tariff wars, okay? Then the third thing is going to be the Russia-Ukraine ceasefire could actually have a negative impact on gold because global uncertainty would actually kind of dissipate because of that, okay? And Trump is trying to be the person that kind of brings that ceasefire, but, a couple of days even before the ceasefire, Putin launched a massive, massive drone attack. So are we super confident that that is actually going to happen? I'm not 100% sold on it right at this point, right? Now, I want to get into a segment that is called the knowledge bank, okay? And what we're going to do is we are going to master key support and resistance levels. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to get into the charts once again, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about with these key support and resistance levels. This is something that we teach inside of the Golden Opportunity training that is coming out in almost exactly 1 month. I believe it's coming out June 23rd, where I personally teach as your golden guide people how to trade inside of the gold markets, from whether it's a swing trading perspective, whether you're a day trader, whether you're an intraday trader, things of that sort. So I want to talk about support and resistance levels, and we're just going to go ahead and get straight into the charts right over here. And boom. Okay, so what we're seeing right now is we've got our support and resistance levels on gold, okay? And I want to show you how these support and resistance levels kind of get reacted to, all right? So let's get this Fibonacci off of here, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So, in my opinion, it is very, very critical to make sure that you are marking out your previous all-time highs, okay? So, why? Because those are most likely going to be either supports or resistances when they are flipped, okay? So, as you can see, this was a previous all-time high, okay? That was used as a resistance multiple times over here. You came up above it, you lost it. You came up above it, you lost it. You banged on it, you banged on it, you banged on it, you came back down, boom, and then you blasted off. So that's how we actually got into this gold trade. So whenever you're marking out your levels, you're not only marking out your all-time highs and your swing highs, but then you want to mark out kind of like your lows, okay? And what do I mean by lows? I mean places where you see price reacting. This is what we would call a demand zone, right around here. This is what we would call a demand zone, and this is where we came up to a new all-time high. We came right back down, okay? And then we kind of bounced and started to set new all-time highs. Those are both going to be critical support and resistance levels whenever you get above them, and they can be a trading channel when you get in between them, right? So for example, when you lost that all-time high level, that previous all-time high, you came right back down to that previous support, and then you bounced. And then you set a second swing low that was higher than the previous swing low, and then boom, you started blasting off. So these support and resistance levels are going to be integral, and that's why I always make sure that I mark out not only my swing highs and my ultimate highs, but also my swing lows and my basically what I would call a demand zone. And these do not have to be at the candle bodies or at the candle wicks. They just need to be where it makes the most sense, where you see the most touch points, and that is what is going to help you find these potential reversal points for long positions like these right here that we gave out inside of the verified investing community. Now, the next thing that I do want to talk about is one of our special reports, okay? So we see Moody's downgrading, our credit rating and all of those different things, and that is something that's going to absolutely, it's definitely going to move the gold markets. We'll put it like that. But the second thing that I want to talk about is something that could bring a potential supply shock to the gold markets, okay? And this is the U.S. is actually mediating between the Congo and Rwandan governments to kind of talk and reshape, the way that the African gold markets look. So there's a conflict in Congo and Rwanda, and this is one of the most mineral dense areas in the entire world. And what's the mineral that we're talking about? Obviously gold on the Golden Nugget show, right? So what could this do? Well, first and foremost, this is going to be the U.S. mediating peace talks. And secondarily, the goal is to reduce illegal mining and then also increase their legal exports. So this could actually have a good effect on the gold markets, but on gold price, okay, it might not necessarily have as good of an effect. Why? Because of supply and demand, okay? And what do I mean by supply and demand? With more gold coming on the market, the demand might not necessarily outweigh that supply. So if the illegal mined gold in the conflict regions isn't coming on the market in a legal perspective, then there is actually less supply. Now, if we get all of that to be legal and non-conflict gold, then they're bringing it to market in the right ways. There could be more gold on the market, which could adversely affect price. So this could bring gold down. So this is something you definitely need to be watching for, because this is one of the, in my opinion, most mineral dense regions in the entire world, but it could boost the African economies. All right. Now, the one thing I do want to state, there's more than one way to play the gold markets. You don't just have to trade XAU USD, right? You can trade mining stocks, you can trade ETFs and things of that sort. So for the miners that are in that region, you might actually see a bump in their stock prices, okay, whenever or if or when this conflict is kind of, taken care of, right? Adversely, when that is taken care of, you might see a little bit of a decrease in the gold price. So just make sure that whenever you are trading gold, you're understanding the fundamentals and the fundamentals that move it, and then also understanding that there's other ways to trade gold. So you can trade the mining stocks and things of that sort, and those might be the ones that actually benefit from this move by the Trump administration. So with that being said, that is everything that you need to know inside of the markets right now. And I hope that this is helpful to all of my gold traders out there. And I hope to see you back here again on the legendary Verified Investing YouTube channel with me, Drew Wolfer, for the Golden Nugget next week at, again, every Wednesday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States.